So at the moment our homepage looks like this, and it doesn't look good at all. But once we finish this lesson, our homepage is going to look similar to this one. As you can see, this one looks much better. We have some different sections, we have some student reviews, we have different options for learning, like you can learn how to use WordPress, WooCommerce. Of course, I understand that your needs might be completely different, but I highly recommend you to follow this guide because you will learn how to use elements and how to work with Elementor. In other lessons, we might use templates, but for this lesson, we will be creating our homepage from the scratch. So to create our homepage, you should go to the dashboard and we have to add a new page, which will be our homepage. So go to the pages and select add new. Let's give a title to our homepage. Let's call it home. And we can start editing this page using Elementor. So to do this, you would have to go right here and click edit with Elementor. Alright, so this is how our page looks now. It's completely empty and we will be editing it with Elementor. So as you probably remember, these are all the elements which we can use. We have pro elements and we have some general elements as well. So let's start by adding a new section to our page, and to do this you would have to click right here. And as you can see, we have different structures available. So we can select like a single layout type, we can select 2 columns, 3 columns, and so on. So let's select the first one, and alright, let's click right here. And as you can see, this section was added to our page. So to do adjustments to this section, you would have to click right here. And as you can see, we have 3 different sections for doing changes for this part of our page. So we have layout adjustments, we have style adjustments, and we have advanced settings. So let's start by doing some style changes. Let's add a background to this section, and to do this, you would have to go right here in style section and let's select background type. So you want to select classic and let's add an image. As you can see, I have some images added to my WordPress website, and if you want to add new images, you would have to go right here, upload files, and you can drag photos in this section, or you can select from files. So alright, let's go to media library and let's select an image. Alright, I will use this image and let's click insert media. Alright, as you can see, it doesn't look too good because this section is too narrow for our image. So we want to do some layout adjustments. So you would have to go right here in the layout section and we would have to change height settings. So instead of choosing default, we should choose min height. Alright, now it looks a little bit better. Instead of choosing pixels, let's choose the second option, and by moving this button we can change the height of this section. So let's move it to the right, and as you can see, it gets a little bit larger, and I guess we can keep it just like that. Yeah, I think it looks good, but as you can see, our image is not being displayed properly, so we have to do some adjustments in style section. So let's go to style section, and first of all we have to do some changes in position settings. So let's select top center and let's change the size of this image. So we want to select cover. Alright, as you can see, it looks much better. Alright, so right now, if we would add some text in this section, in this area, we wouldn't see it properly because basically this image is too bright, and we can set a background overlay for this image. And to do this, we would have to go right here. Again, we are in the style section and we would have to do background overlay settings. So let's click right here and let's select background type. Once you click right here, some options will pop up, and as you can see, we can select color or image. Let's select color and let's choose a black color. Alright, right here we can do some adjustments, opacity adjustments. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it just like this, and basically now we can add some text in this section. So to add text, we would have to go to element section, and to access elements, let's go right here and let's select heading. Alright, just drag it right here and add text. So you can add text right here, or you can add text in this window. So I'm just gonna add some text. Alright, as you can see, our text is not aligned in the center, so we have to do some alignment adjustments. In this section we can do this. Let's align it in the center, and we could change the size of this text by going right here, selecting size, and let's select extra large. Alright, so this is how it looks now. We should change the color because it doesn't look good at all. So to change the color, we will have to go to the style settings and let's select text color. Let's set it to white and it looks much better. So the next thing which we could add is some text underneath this heading. So let's go to elements and let's select text editor. So just drag it right here under this section. And just like the previous time, you can add text by clicking right here, by entering it right here, or you can add it in this window. So I'm just gonna add some text. All right, as you can see, I just added some text. And again, this text doesn't look too good because the color is not right. So to change color, let's go here and select text color. Let's set it to white. And actually, I don't like how wide this text is being displayed. And we could change it by going to the settings of this section. So as you probably remember, to do changes to this whole section, we would have to go right here, click on this area, and let's go to layout adjustments. So in the boxed section, we have to set the width of this box. All right, as you can see, we can do this by moving this bar. And I almost forgot, let's change the alignment of this text. So let's go right here, let's double click on this text and let's change the alignment by clicking right here. So as you can see, the text is in the center and it looks much better right now. If the image is still too bright, again, we can do changes to it by going right here and by clicking here, style, and let's go to background overlay and let's change the opacity. As you can see, it looks much better now. So the next thing which we could add is a button underneath this text. So to do this, let's go to element section and let's look for a button. This is it. This is the button which we can use, and let's drag it right here. So we can add a text. So just gonna add courses, and as you can see, we can change the alignment of this text and the content settings. Let's set it to center, and we can change the size of the button. We can set it to medium, and right here for this button we can add a link. Once somebody clicks on this button, that person would go to that link, would visit that link. So let's say once a person clicks on courses, he would go to the page of our courses. So to do that, we would have to add a link right here, but I'm just gonna keep it as it is because we don't have any other pages created yet. But you should remember the location of this section, so you can easily access it once you click edit a page with Elementor, and by clicking on the button you will be able to change the link. All right, let's change the color of this button. So obviously all style settings are done in this section, style, and we can set a background color. By clicking right here, we will change the color of this button. So yeah, this is how our button is going to look now. And I guess everything's fine with this section. Everything looks good, and we can move on and add another section. So the next section could be, let's say, the course of the week. So to add another section, we would have to click right here. So let's add a heading to this section. So we would have to go right here and we would have to select a heading. So we can change the text to course of the week. And let's change the alignment. So let's set it to center, and let's change the size of this heading. So by going right here, we can change it to extra large. And if we will use more headings, more text, the color is going to be blue by default, but we can change it. So next time when we will be adding some other headings, we don't want to have the same color. So to change global settings of colors, we would have to go right here in this section, and let's click on default colors. As you can see, this blue color was selected by default. We can change the color of the text. We can select our own color, and as you can see, this is how it's going to look. Or we can select from other color palettes. So I think it looks good. We can go back to doing changes and adding elements to our homepage. Alright, so right now we could add a section where we will display our course of the week. So to do this, we would have to click right here again, add a new section, and let's select 2 columns. So in this column, instead of setting a background image, we could add image ourselves. So our visitors will be able to click on that image and visit our page, our certain page. So let's go ahead and drag this image right here in this column, and let's select image once you click right here from the media library, or if you need, you can upload image by clicking right here. So I'm just gonna select this image, I'm gonna click insert media, and I think it looks good. So in this section we could add another heading and some information about that course. But before we do that, we should add add a link to this image. So let's say once a visitor clicks on this image, he will go to a certain link to a certain page. So to add a link to this page, you would have to click on this image, and right here in the link section, you would have to select custom URL and just type the URL of your link. In this case, I'm not gonna add any links, but I wanted to show you that it's possible to do this, and in case you'll need this in the future, you will know how it's done. So just add a link and that's it. And I'm just gonna keep it to none. And in this section, I'm just gonna add another heading. I'm gonna change the size to large, and I'm gonna change the alignment. I'm gonna set to center, and I'm gonna add some text. And we could add a paragraph underneath this heading. So to do this, we would have to go right here and let's select text editor. Just drag it right here. And all we have to do is just paste some text in this section or right here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, I added a list of text. So to add a list, you would have to select the line and just click this option to create a bulleted list. So all right, I think it looks good. And we can add another section, which would be, let's say, student reviews. So just click right here, add another, and let's select this, the first option. Instead of adding a new heading again, we can copy this heading. So to copy this heading, just go right here and click the right button of your mouse, and you can copy or duplicate this heading. So let's click duplicate. And as you can see, now we have two headings, but we can move it to this place. So just by dragging it just like this, we can move this heading right here. So all we have to do right now is just change the text. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be student reviews. All right, so to add student reviews, I'm going to use 4 columns. So let's add new section of content and let's select 4 columns. So right now we can go to element section by clicking right here, and we can add star ratings, and to find them we would have to scroll down and general section, and right here star ratings. So just drag it right here, and as you can see, it was added. So just change the alignment. Let's set it to center, and right now we can copy this element by clicking the right mouse button, and let's paste the same element to each column. So just click paste, paste, and just like that we will save some time. All right. So the next thing which we could add is the text of review. So let's say somebody left us a good review, and we can include a text underneath the rating. So let's go to elements, and we would have to select text editor. Just drag it right here and just add the text. All right, and it's going to look something like this. So again, we can copy this element. Let's copy it and let's paste in each column. So now all we have to do is just change the text which is in each column, and this way we saved some time. We didn't need to add elements from the list to each column. So this way we can save some time by copying elements and pasting them to columns or in various areas of your page. So the last thing which we could add is something for our visitors. Let's say I will add a section of start learning where people can select what they want to learn. Let's say they want to learn about WordPress, or let's say they want to learn something about WooCommerce. So I'm just gonna add another heading. So as you probably remember, to add a new heading, you would have to add a new section first by clicking right here and selecting this option. All right, so let's add a heading by going right here and let's drag it in this section. So I'm just gonna add some text. And as you can see, it doesn't look good because we have to do some alignment adjustments. So let's change it to the center. And let's change the size of this heading. So let's go and set it to extra large. All right, start learning. So the next thing which we could add is a new section of 2 columns. In each column, we will include different information. So the first column will be for people who are interested in WordPress, and the second column will be for people who are interested in WooCommerce. So let's go right here and click to add a new section, and let's select 2 columns. Let's start by adding a background image for our first column by going right here and clicking on this section, and we would have to go in the style section. Let's click background type, let's select classic, and let's choose an image from our media library. So I have some images uploaded. I'm just gonna choose this one and I'm gonna click insert media. So right now it doesn't look too good because our image is not being displayed properly, and before we do some changes to it, we should add a heading to this section. So let's add a heading which will say WordPress. So once our visitor clicks on this section of WordPress heading, they will go to a page which will display them WordPress tutorials or other information. So let's go to element section and let's add a heading right here. So let's drag it. I'm just gonna change the text. I'm going to change the alignment. I'm going to set to the center, and I will change the color of this text. So I'm going to go to style settings and I'm going to choose the text color. I'm going to set it to white. All right, so it looks a little bit better, but our image is still not being displayed properly. So to do changes to the section, we would have to go right here on this section, edit column. So by clicking right here, we will be doing changes to the column, and right now we are doing changes to this header. So we want to change the column. So let's click right here and let's go to advanced settings and let's change the padding. I guess we can start by entering 150. All right, it looks a little bit better, but it's still far from good. And let's uncheck this option because we will change the padding of these sections. So instead 150, let's set it to 50. And let's do some changes to this section as well. All right, so our heading is positioned in the center. It looks good. And now we could do some margin adjustments. So let's go right here. And once you start doing these changes, as you can see, our image starts to get smaller. So these changes were done in this section. As you can see, the image was resized and moved from the borders. So, okay, it's not finished because the image doesn't look good. So we have to go to style settings and we would have to change the position. Let's change the position to center, and let's change the size to cover. All right, it looks a little bit better. So right now we could add a background overlay, just like we did for this image. By clicking right here, background overlay, we will be able to add an overlay. So let's click on a classic and let's choose a color which can be black. All right, it looks much better. And right now we could do some adjustments to our title because it could be a little bit larger. So let's click on it. And as you can see, once we click on the title, we start doing changes to the heading area. So it says edit heading. So let's change the size of this heading by clicking right here, content, and let's select the size. We can set it to extra large and it's going to look something like this. As well, we could add a link. So let's say somebody clicks on this section, on this title, that person would visit a certain link. For this example, it could be pages with WordPress information, with courses about WordPress or something similar. So you would have to add a link in this section and that's it. So just paste the link and you're good to go. So to create another column, we could go ahead and do the same steps which we did previously, but since we are going to change just the title, we can copy this column and we can paste it right here. So let's do it. Let's copy this column. Let's click copy and let's paste it right here. All right, now we have 3 columns. So we can remove this column by clicking right button and let's click delete. All right, so we have 2 columns which look identical, and all we have to do right now is just to change the background image by clicking right here. Let's go to style settings and let's change this image. Let's set it to this one. Let's click insert media and let's change the heading of this image. So right, this is how our homepage looks now, and it doesn't look too good because I don't really like there are no spaces in between elements. So we have 2 options how we can add spaces in between elements. We can click on this heading element right here and we can go to advanced section and we can change the margin settings. So as you can see, by changing these settings, we will add spaces. All right, we can do the same with the next section, which is student reviews. Let's click on advanced and let's set the same margin as previously. So this is how it looks now. But as I mentioned you before, we have 2 ways how we can do this. We can achieve the same result by using other options. So we would have to go to element section and let's select the spacer. So let's drag the spacer in between the elements right here, for example, and we can do adjustments to the spacer. All right, as you can see, we will add spaces in between elements. So right, once you have finished creating your homepage, everything seems fine. We can go ahead and click publish. All right, it says our page is live and we can click right here and have a look. All right, so this is how our page looks now. And as you can see, it looks much better than the previous version of our homepage. But once we go to our homepage, let's click right here. The homepage is going to be the same. So to change the homepage from this one to our new, we would have to do some changes in settings section. So let's go to dashboard, and before we go and do some changes in this settings section, let's create another page which will be used for our blog post. So to create a new page for our blog post, all we have to do is just click right here, add new, and we will not be doing any settings adjustments with Elementor. We're just gonna create a blank page which is going to be called blog. So let's give a title to our page, and all we have to do is click publish. Let's go back to the list of our pages by clicking right here. And as you can see right now, we have two pages. This one is blog page and this one is home page. But we have to set these pages that this page is going to be used as our home page, the static page, and this page is going to be used for our blog post. So to do changes, we have to go to the settings section and let's click on reading section. So as you probably remember previously, I was telling you that we will come back to this section and we will do changes to it. So let's go right here and let's click a static page. So let's set our home page as our home page, and post page, let's select blog. So once you have done this, just click save changes, and now we can visit our website. Let's go right here, let's click visit site. So as you can see, this is how our home page looks now, and it looks much better. So it's completely up to you how you want to create your home page. I just wanted you to follow this lesson so you would understand how Elementor works and you would know how to use elements. Of course, to create your home page, you can use templates, and in other lessons for creating other pages, I will be using some of the templates. I will show you how you can edit them, and the goal of this lesson was to show you how to work with Elementor.